Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Damian Montecarlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more. Extreme Championship. Hey, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We're here with the Blue Meanie. What's up, Meanie?
What's up, fellas?
And of course, I'm here with Damian Montecarlo and Angry Mike D in his shades. So,
thanks for to Mike for joining us from witness protection there.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
God damn, now I have to relocate.
Relocating.
Breaking news.
I'm glad they found Whitey Bulger.
There you
go. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to do 21 questions just to see what we think, you know? Okay, 21. So, yeah, 21 I think we got here. So we're going to go to Meanie first. We're going to Meanie, Damian, Mike, then me. Meanie, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Meanie's going with Prince. Damo.
I'm going Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson for Damo. Mike D.
Michael Jackson.
Well, I'm going with Prince, so that's 2-2 right there. Meanie, Motley Crue or Bon Jovi?
I'm going to have to go Bon Jovi.
Meanie goes with the Jovi.
Just for the longevity. You know, I like Motley Crue. Don't get me wrong, but Bon Jovi for the longevity and, you know, the Jovi.
The Jovi, the longevity.
Longevity.
Damien.
Yeah, Bon Jovi.
Dame, going Bon Jovi. What about you, Mike?
If you would have asked me back in the 80s, I would have went Motley Crue. But now I'm going with the Jove.
Yeah, come to the dark side.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Paisan. I'm going to go with Bon Jovi. I changed my mind. I had Motley, but I changed my mind. Peer pressure. I want to stay with the Paisan. I'll stay with Bon Jovi.
Great music, shitty pasta sauce. Yeah, Bon Jovi pasta sauce.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, I tried.
Was that made with cream of Sambora?
That's the what do you call? What's the white sauce? The fettuccine sauce.
Yeah.
He got the Jerry Penacoli treatment, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
That was the rumor.
Oh man. So okay, now strictly 80s here. I mean, Billy Joel or Elton John in the 80s.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Billy Joel. Elton John was great, but he's more 70s.
Yeah, I agree.
Billy Joel, I mean, we didn't start the fire.
I
know, but horrible song, but it just perfectly describes my mental state. You know, when I try to go to sleep at night, Walter cried at Disneyland, blah, blah, blah,
everything's
blah,
going through your head.
I can't go to sleep. My brain is we just like that song, you know. But yeah, man, and plus he had Kristie. You know?
Yeah, baby.
Sorry, man. We only do 80s doo-wop, Billy Joel.
That's it. Yeah, strictly 80s. Damo.
Yeah, Billy Joel too.
Yeah.
Damo with Billy Joel, Mike D.
I love Elton John too, which is crazy.
I'm going with Elton John, man. Definitely.
Of course you are. I'm going Billy Joel.
Always the odd guy.
I couldn't take Billy Joel's 80s stuff, man. I just couldn't do it.
I don't know. Compared to Elton John, what was the I'm Still Standing video? That was a bit much for me.
I don't want to go on with you like that.
Sad songs and
oh, Nikita, you will never know anything about my home.
Yeah, Meanie's crooning.
Nikita.
All right, here goes a good one.
And the backup singers, oh, Nikita.
And you're thinking Magnum TA.
No, a Magnum. I hit you with a Russian sickle Magnum.
All right, here goes a good one.
actually did.
I'm sorry.
I did Nikita Koloff to Nikita Koloff, and he actually corrected me and taught me how to properly say a Magnum. Yeah.
No, you're doing it wrong. It's this way.
Yeah. I go, a Magnum. He's like, no, I say more, a Magna. Okay, whatever you say, man.
You know, I never knew he was American.
Me neither.
Until recently.
Dude, I know we're gonna get off track here, but there's like one high school in Minnesota that produced Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, the Road Warriors, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect,
Wow,
Tom Zank, and a couple other folks too. Scott Norton.
Wow.
They all went to the same high school.
Wow.
That's weird.
crazy. Yeah.
It must have been fucking monsters in that school.
Yeah.
right.
The yearbook photos are out there. It's insane.
That's crazy. All right, Meanie, one night with Samantha Fox or one night with Madonna
Mm.
in the 80s?
And the respect to Madonna, but there's a lot of tread on that tire. I'm glad to go with Samantha Fox.
Damo.
That's a tough one. I'm going to have to go with Madonna, I think.
Dan goes with Madonna.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mike
desperately, Susan was the Madonna. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Samantha,
Yeah, I'm going with Samantha Fox.
Samantha Fox.
I'm going with Samantha Fox, too.
I just remember those hairy armpits of Madonna back then.
I could work around those.
You can kind of smell that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's
Oh, man.
Fucking anchovies.
like hot garbage.
Yeah.
I'm going with Samantha Fox. I always liked her. She's short and booblicious, whatever that word is.
Page
Bubbly.
6.
Okay. On Cheers, did you prefer Kirstie Alley or Shelly Long?
Oh, Kristie Alley. She was in another great 80s movie called Summer School.
There you go. I remember that too.
With
Wow.
Mark Harmon.
Yeah.
I think Mark Harmon was in it. Yep.
Another great 80s movie. Yeah, but she was amazing in that movie.
Yeah, she was pretty hot too.
Yeah, before she got all, was a Scientologized,
Yeah. Damo.
Yeah, Kirstie Alley, too. Shelley Long, her character just annoyed the hell out of me on that
I
show.
agree. I agree.
Hers, Mrs. Brady could have caught it, but
Mike D.
Yeah, definitely Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, guess what? Kirstie Alley. All four of us, Kirstie Alley. Shelley Long was, like Dame said, oh, that character got on my nerves.
It's annoying, man. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Totally annoying. Meanie, E.T. or Alph?
E.T. I'm going to say E.T. I have memories of going to see that movie with my mom as a kid in like 82. And like we totally stayed and watched the back in the day when you didn't really have to leave the theater, we stayed and watched it in like 2 settings. So,
you got the repeats.
And also E.T. Pop culture launched Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of cultural stuff that came out of that movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Dane?
I'm gonna go with Alph. I used to love Alph when I was a kid.
Gordon Shumway.
Gordon Shumway. Yeah, I think he used to be on Monday nights. Remember, he lived on Melmac.
Melmac, yeah.
He used to try to eat the cat. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to like that laugh. Ha!
Did you see a Permanent Midnight? It was with Ben Stiller.
No.
And he played. This is a true story. He played the creator of Alph.
Oh, really?
And he was just on like I think it was heroin, different drugs and stuff like that. And there was like one scene in it where Alph was chasing him in one of his trips, and it was like this evil green Alph.
That's funny.
So decent movie, worth to watch. Probably early 2000s.
And one of Ben Stiller's first serious roles as well. Yeah, because he was mostly
comedy,
actor and stuff like that.
I don't know if that might have been one of his first roles. I don't know. After the TV show.
Yeah, the Ben Stiller show's an underrated show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember liking it back in the day. It was it didn't last too long.
They got canceled, and then they still won like a People's Choice Awards. And Ben Stiller goes up to the accept award and goes, "Fox, I think you you missed the point here. Something like that. He won an award for that show, and that was like a Hall of Fame cast there.
Mike D, did you go with Alph or E.T.?
I would go with E.T. I just have a lot more fonder memories of E.T.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Alph. I kind of got a kick out of it.
And E.T. was voiced by Deborah Winger.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did the ouch and all that stuff. That was Deborah Winger. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna hit.
No bullshit. Yeah.
We're gonna hit some sports stuff here. Meanie, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Larry Bird. He was a little bit more blue collar, even though Magic Johnson. I mean, he came from a good upbringing too. But once he went to the Lakers. He kind of joined the evil empire,
Yeah,
so to speak, and he came more posh, so to speak. But you look at Larry Bird, and you're like, man, that guy carries a lunch pail to work.
Yeah.
He busted the knuckles. He broke his back. Paving his own driveway. He destroyed his career by paving his own driveway because he does his own work and stuff. So just because he seemed more blue collar, I liked Larry Bird better.
Cool. How about you, Dame?
Yeah, probably Larry Bird just for the mustache, I think. Yeah.
Great mustache.
Yeah.
He's right up there with Oates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great mustache. Mike D.
I mean, Magic Johnson, man, he's got the name. I really didn't know too much about either of them back then, but I knew the name Magic Johnson, and I heard he had a Magic Johnson.
I'm sure.
So
there's well, since we're talking about that, there's a great documentary, Magic versus Bird.
Great documentary.
That was good. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
HBO.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
It was a nice deep dive. Such a cool documentary.
Yeah, rivalries, but they're like best friends.
Yeah. Well, Magic wore him down because Bird still had a little rivalry. Magic wore him down.
Yeah.
I'm going with Bird too. I like them both, but I'm going to go with Bird. The mustache might have been the factor.
Mustache.
The mustache.
We love the mustache. Okay, favorite boxer in the 80s, Meanie?
I'm gonna have to say the man who recently passed away, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
That's a good one.
Because not only was he was rare, he's a rare fighter, a southpaw. He won a lot of his fights in Philadelphia against Philadelphia fighters. He was a huge part of the Philadelphia boxing scene. And also, after he retired, he went on to become, he moved to Italy and became this huge movie star over in Italy, going action.
Really?
I didn't know. Yeah.
And he's part of pop culture with the old school right guard ads because anything else is civilized.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, you remember that? Wow.
Yeah, he
forgot about that.
Or doing other different things. He's like right guard because anything else would be uncivilized.
Yeah.
He always looked like he meant business too. He looked like he just meant business.
He looked like Lou Gossett Jr. stunt double.
Yeah. Exactly. Damo, 80s boxer.
Well, I was going to go with one guy, but I thought of somebody else. So I'm going to go with Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Oh, how about that one?
Yeah. My uncle was a big boxing fan when I was a kid, and my uncle kind of looked like him, and I always remember him being a big, Boom Boom Mancini fan, and he was Paisan like us, and that was just a great name, Boom Boom,
Great name.
But then he had that fight where his opponent died in the ring. I forget the guy's name, the Asian guy, and that kind of like really screwed him up. He was never the same after that.
Yeah, there's a great documentary called The Good Son about Ray Mancini and how he dealt with that. And he actually went and met the family of the fighter who died in the ring.
Yeah.
And he met with the wife and the son, a son of the fighter. And it's really touching.
Yeah. I saw that years ago. It was good.
Yeah.
I never seen it. I got to check it out.
Yeah.
I got to check it out. Who was
I'm a documentary junkie. So.
Yeah. Speaking of, before we move on the mic with this, for documentaries, what was the documentary about the guy who had the cast on underneath his gloves?
Oh, Irish. Oh my God. The documentary is called Assault in the Ring. It was an HBO documentary. And the guy wound up dying eventually.
Wow.
Crazy story.
Yeah, they dipped the guy's tape. They taped his hand and dipped it in plaster of Paris.
Right.
And they're boxing, and the guy's head's swelling up. And it wasn't until like after the fight where the opposing corners went to shake hands and he touched his gloves and he went, "Whoa, hold on." They called the referees over. "Hey, check this out. Check this out." And the guy's trying to get away and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a sad story. And then they catch up with the fighter later on who was in the ring, and they interview him. And the documentary is called Assault in the Ring. I can't think of the name of the fighters right offhand, but HBO documentary on it.
Was it a fighter from the 70s or something like that?
It was in the 80s.
80s?
Yeah. I totally forgot about that till just now.
I figured you would remember. Like, I know you like documentaries.
Yeah.
Crazy story, man. Mike D, boxer in the 80s.
George Foreman.
That's a good one.
He has a comeback.
Yeah.
He was pretty much dormant in the 80s, wasn't he? And he came back in the late 80s?
Maybe the late 80s. Yeah, he was done.
Yeah.
The late 80s, he came back.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking 80s, I have to go with Tyson.
Yeah.
You know, he won his first, I think he was the youngest champ, too.
I mean, I figured Tyson was too easy to go with.
It is an easy one. Yeah. I was happy that we had 4 different answers, though. That's great. You know, like Hagler, I forgot about. I definitely forgot about Boom Boom. You know, I thought it was pretty cool.
That was almost like the golden age. I thought was like the 80s. So many.
Yeah.
You can watch boxing on free TV on Channel 6 on ABC, and yeah, I mean, most people's evenings revolved around sitting at home and watching boxing on ABC. But that was the golden era.
Hey, HBO boxing, man, come on, that was great.
Yeah. I remember sitting watching like the Tyson Razor Ruddock match with my dad and stuff like that. So it was always good memories. And like I said it a billion times, that's my dad's favorite.
Shout out to Larry Holmes as well. He was a good
Holmes.
Yeah.
He's a great boxer in the 80s who
he's an assassin.
Unfortunately, he had to come out of the shadow of Muhammad Ali, and so he never really got his due.
Yeah,
as a boxer, but he was one of the best.
Yep. Meanie, favorite Philly from the 1980s.
Oh my God, from the 80s. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to give. This might seem like a cop out, but I'm gonna have to go with Mike Schmidt again for the mustache.
Great mustache.
The 80s. He had the Tom Selleck going there.
Yeah, he looks better with the mustache, which is weird.
Yeah, he looks weird without it, doesn't he?
Weird without the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never got his due. I mean, the Philly crowd was a little rough on, but he was the best third baseman in baseball history, in my opinion.
I agree.
No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then when Harry Callis called his 500 home run in Pittsburgh, that gets replayed like at least once a year. The greatest Phillies moments. So I'm gonna have to go with Mike Schmidt.
Meanie goes with Mike Schmidt. Damo.
Well, when I was growing up in the 80s, like when I started really getting to baseball, like the Phillies were god awful, man. They were just terrible. We'd always get like the winter time. They'd always make a trade for like some has-been player. But the one guy I always liked, and people hated him automatically because they called him the 5-for-1 guy. Was Von Hayes.
Von Hayes.
Meanie Pop.
You bastard. You took my answer.
Well, he was supposed to be like the next Ted Williams, and everything.
Yeah.
But
we sent 5 players.
They just had shitty.
We sent 5 players to Cleveland just for Von Hayes.
Yeah, one of them was like Julio Franco, and like really good players. Like,
yeah.
I could have sworn who was.
But it wasn't. Come on, it wasn't Von Hayes' fault.
No, it wasn't. No. But he played with like shitty teams. Imagine if he was on like a decent team. He was, then he played center field. He was first base, but he had a few, pretty good years. I think he was an all-star once or twice.
Him and Juan Samuel were kind of like a tag team in my mind there because they were on the infield there.
Right. Yeah.
Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same answer as Damien, but I mean, Mike Schmidt. I mean, it's just too hard not to go with him, but it's a cop-out answer. So I was trying to stay away from that, but
that's all right.
It's definitely. I mean, my grandfather loved Mike Schmidt, loved the bull.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 Schmitties. You got 2 kind of Von Hayes, 2 of them.
Yeah. So
I'm going to go. I have no clue why I liked him. It could have been because he looked different than everybody else. I liked Manny Trio.
Oh yeah.
I like Manny Trio. I couldn't tell you why.
Wasn't he on that 83 Wheeze Kids team?
Oh, I don't know.
He was, yeah.
I got a funny story on that one.
Yeah.
So So when I was a kid, it was probably like the late 70s. The supermarket around our area used to have the Phillies come in there on the weekends and take pictures with the kids on their lap. So all week, my parents were telling me we're going to go see Manny Trio. Manny Trio's going to be there. So I'm like all hyped up. Manny Trio. I had no idea who Manny Trio was. It was just after a week of hearing his name, I'm hyped up to see Manny Trio. I get there, Manny Trio couldn't show up, and it's Del Unser. and I'm crying the whole time. I'm like, I want Manny Trio. and my mother's like, I was never so embarrassed in my life.
Yeah, good band name. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Manny Trio.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good idea.
Fantastic.
Manny Trio and the Tijuana Brass.
Now, I know you're a huge Eagles fan. Huge Eagles fan. Favorite Eagle in the 80s?
Oh, Reggie White. Reggie White, the Minister of Defense. He came. He started off in one of my favorite leagues, the USFL. He was with the I want to say the Memphis Showboats. Or
I thought he was from. Well, why do I think he was from the Generals? But I could be wrong.
He could have been with the Generals.
That was Jersey, right?
New Jersey, yeah.
He played on the New Jersey General. Sorry.
Trump owned them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks. Well, there's a documentary on the USFL called Small Potatoes on how,
that's great. I seen that. That's great.
Yeah. Basically, that's a whole other story with the USFL. But Reggie White started there. The USFL. The great thing about USFL is they would one up the NFL by going through the draft and getting the guys. They had who was Joe Montana's backup? Steve
Young.
Yeah, Steve Young. Yeah.
Steve Young. Yeah.
He had some duels in the USFL, Steve Young, but yeah, Reggie White came from there. Then the Eagles got him, and then he was the pioneer of free agency. How right now in the NFL is legal tampering, right now where people can talk about trading or signing free agents, but back in the day, once you were with the team, you were with the team.
Yeah,
and he was the pioneer that pushed for free agency, and he was like one of our first victims of free agency because Norman Brayman, the man in France, didn't want to pay Reggie White and re-sign him, so he went to the Green Bay Packers, which I was still a Reggie White fan, even though I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Reggie White fan.
Yeah,
and then later on, Reggie White went on to wrestle in WCW. So
crazy.
So, but when you talk about opposing quarterbacks, knowing they had to come to Philly and face Reggie White and Jerome Brown.
Yeah.
Those guys, again, they were like a tag team. They were like the Road Warriors. They were just instilling fear in the opposing, quarterbacks. You see, Reggie White throwing grown ass men with one arm with a bull wrench. Yeah, Reggie White. Yeah.
How about you, Dame?
Probably I got to go with Randall. I think.
Randall Scramble.
Yeah, those Eagles teams, man. Like when Buddy Ryan was the coach, they were just just a great team, and they definitely should have won like a Super Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do they not win like a playoff game? Is like, I don't think they won a playoff game, right?
They beat Detroit once.
Okay.
And, I think Rodney Peete played that game, but
yeah,
that's the game. The guy from Detroit guaranteed a victory, and then the Eagles blew him out for like 40 something to nothing. Like that.
That's great.
Yeah, he was always my favorite though.
How about you, Mike?
At that point, I wasn't following football, but I definitely knew Randall.
So you're gonna go
with
Randall.
I'd have to go with him. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go my favorite.
He even had the candy bar, man.
The Randall Scramble. Yeah, the Randall Scramble.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
So.
Yeah. For me, my favorite Eagle, I always loved Wilbert Montgomery.
Yeah.
I always loved Wilbert. That was my Eagle. That was my favorite Eagle. Favorite flyer in the 80s.
I like the name.
Yeah.
Wilbert.
Favorite flyer in the 80s? I'm going to have to go with Ron Hextall.
Meanie goes with Hextall.
Not only, dude, one of the first goalies in the history in the NHL to score a goal, scored 2 goals, And there's a pretty sweet pickup truck that drives around South Philly that has run airbrushed on the back of it.
You seen it, Dave?
I've seen that.
It's always out front of Bell's Beverage on Front Street there.
Nice.
And when I'm going to get my coffee in the morning, I'm like snapping a photo every time. X-Doll he would just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And he was menacing. Like his pre-game standing in front of the thing, he would clank his stick against the thing, and it was just kind of like a pro wrestling thing where, every wrestler comes out and they got their pose and stuff like that. But pre-game, X-Doll's just standing there menacing, just clanking his stick against the goal. I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you. Could try to score me, motherfucker.
Demo.
Man, there's so many of them. But probably my favorite player when I was a kid was Rick Tocchet.
Yeah.
He was, he was
great mullet.
He was tough. He had a great mullet. Yeah. He was tough. He could fight. He could score. He was a young guy.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome, man.
How about for me, I'm gonna have to go with Hextall. Hextall was the man. I mean, Meanie said it all pretty much. Hextall, tough son of a bitch. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, definitely Hextall. I mean, I just remember him scoring those goals. A better player than he was a GM, though.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on. Meanie, your favorite 76er?
Favorite Sixer in the 1980s, Charles Barkley, man.
Oh, forgot. Damn, how did I forget about Barkley?
Yeah, he was like the bridge. He was the gap between Dr. J, the era of Dr. J, and then he went on to have his own era.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's true. How about you, Dame?
Well, I was going to go with Barkley, but I'm going to go with his number 2 guy would probably be Hershey Hawkins.
Nice.
Wow.
It was like Barkley and Hershey. It was like the two of them.
He came to my high school.
Did he?
Did. And then he was so nice. I got an autograph. I was like, oh, okay. And then he sent an 8x10 to my high school, and I went and picked it up from my guidance counselor because I was like, oh, can I have your autograph? Do you have any 8x10s? He's like, no, but I'll send you one. And he did. I was like, oh,
wow, how about that?
I still have it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Mike D.
Yeah, definitely Barkley, man. That guy got a bad rap, too.
Yeah.
Nicer guy than everybody thought. We had season tickets at the Phillies game back in the 80s, and he had season tickets like about maybe 20 rows in front of us. And you'd always see kids in line, like just getting autographs from him. And he would just sign every one of them while he was watching the game. So, he was a better guy than what the press gave him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
He still lives in the area in the off season too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Still
does Bark, yeah.
Back. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins. I think he used to break the backboard all the time. Yeah, so I kind of got a kick out of him.
I think he made it into the Dire Straits video, breaking the backboard for the Life video.
That's great. That's the second time on this podcast we heard the word Dire Straits.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, moving on to some easier things, I think. Meanie, Cindy Crawford, Kristie Brinkley.
Oh, Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford, Damo.
Yeah, I got to go with Cindy too.
Mike Day.
I'm going to go with Kristie Brinkley.
I'm going Kristie Brinkley too. It was an easy one.
She still looks good.
Yeah, definitely. I like them blondes. Atari or ColecoVision, Meanie?
I'm going to have to go with Atari.
Damo?
Yeah, Atari too. I never had ColecoVision. Atari was seemed like that was like the first big, video game home system,
Mike D.
ColecoVision, man. That was awesome.
Really?
I had the ColecoVision that you had the attachment you stuck on the front of it. You could play the Atari games in it. ColecoVision all the way.
I'm going to go with Atari, but I was always fascinated with ColecoVision because you could change the little piece of paper. You would change the front.
Yep.
It was kind of wild. And the boxing game looked crazy back in the day. It was like a cool game. Okay, moving on to 2 albums. They were both big pretty much at the same time. Meanie, Pyromania or Metal Health?
Pyromania.
Meanie goes with Def Leppard. What about you, Damo? Oh,
yeah, I'm going with Pyromania too. I was never really that big of, I like Choir Eye, but they weren't really huge for me. So,
Mike D.
Pyromania all the way.
I'm going to go with Mental Health. For some reason, I love that record. I don't like all the Quiet Riot records, but I love that one. Meanie, anything on that?
I mean, I'll give Quiet Riot their due because it was the first heavy metal album to go #1. But two of their biggest hits were from the band Slade. So
true, very very true. Yeah. Right. So two of their hits were kind of already hits, kind of. Yeah.
Real quick, useless knowledge. Kevin Dubrow from Quiet Riot said to Steve Regal, who's a big fan of the band Slade, when Regal's like, I heard you like Slade, and Kevin Dubrow goes, yeah, we made them a couple bucks, and then Steve Regal choked him out on the radio.
Oh my God, that is great! I never knew that. It's great.
He reached over the counter and started.
That's great.
Wow. That's great.
Regal told me that story. He's like, I'm not proud of it, but
oh, you know what? He was a bit of a prick back in the day.
Kevin Dubrow, yeah.
Nobody liked him. He talked shit about everybody.
Yeah. Nobody liked Kevin Dubrow. Meanie, Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3.
The Dream Warrior.
Dream Warriors is, to me, my favorite.
Dockin'.
Yeah. Dockin'. It's Dockin'.
Dockin' reference. And there's a Rat song in there, too. So
there you go. Damo.
Yeah, I got to go Nightmare on Elm Street, too. I mean, something about Freddy, he was just cool, man. He was funny. He was... he would scare the shit out of you at the same time.
He had personality.
Yeah, he had personality. Yeah, the other guys, they didn't talk. It was like, there's nothing. I don't know. I don't want to.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah, man. Mike D.
He had great one-liners.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger all the way.
I'm going with Freddy too. Freddy had, like you guys said, more character. Yeah. Definitely more character. Here goes one that's going to stump the Meanie. Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire?
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, easy one. That was an easy one.
Yeah, I mean, St. Elmo's Fire had a great theme song, but Breakfast Club, Ali Sheedy, that was my jam. When she was, because I always liked the weirdo chicks in school, but then she became this flower. I was like,
I like they're better weird.
Was it St. Elmo's Fire? Was more the old head movie. That was like
Rob Lowe and that's the Brat Pack. The other, that was the other division of the Brat Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Divisions,
Damo, what you got?
They were NWO Wolfpack, and the other one was NWO.
NWO. Damo, you said Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Breakfast Club.
I'm going to go with St. Elmo's Fire for one reason. Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Her voice. I liked her voice. I don't know what it was. It was the voice. So I don't know why, but I'm going to go with that. I like them both, though. Okay. Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan? I mean, in the 80s. Strictly 80s.
Ric Flair. Just because he was the touring champion. Hogan launched an era. He has his own era, the Hogan era. And Flair would say Hogan's the better worker, but everybody knew Ric Flair was the better wrestler.
Right.
He was the guy every promotion trusted to bring in and draw the house and make the money. Everybody got paid more money when Ric Flair was on the show. So Ric Flair.
Damo.
Yeah, I was a Hulkamaniac.
There's no wrong answer.
I got to go with Hogan. But then, years later, because I used to get the wrestle magazines all the time in 7-Eleven, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and that's why I found out. I only thought there was one, WWF, and then found out about NWA, and then I used to watch it on TBS, like on Saturdays, and that was like the matches were better because you weren't seeing like these job matches. Yeah, dude, it's a waste, man. It was like an hour of jobber matches, but NWA you would see Ric Flair, but I got to go with Hogan though.
Damo's going Hogan. How about you, Mike?
Same thing. I mean, that's what got me into watching wrestling was Hulk Hogan. So I love Ric Flair, but it's hard not to go with Hogan for me.
I'm in the same boat. I like them both. I'm going to go with Hogan just because that's what I remember more Hogan stuff. Okay, moving on to the next one.
All right.
Meanie, favorite game to play at the arcade when you were young?
Oh my God. Punch Out.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, Glass Joe was a motherfucker. I always jobbed out the bald bull.
Yeah.
Oh, he was rough.
Yeah.
That was like the third, fourth fight, I think.
What you got, Dave?
I think this came out in the 80s. late 80s probably, but remember Ivan Stewart's Off Road?
No, I don't remember that at all.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's a deep cut.
yeah, it was like it was a race car game, but they were like on a dirt track and everything, and you press the button for nitros. The car goes.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
remember
love
that
that
game. Mike D.
Easy one. We just talked about it, but Donkey Kong.
I'm agreeing with you. I love
Donkey Kong.
I love the Donkey Kong. All right, here goes another one that might stump you. First cassette you ever bought, me?
Oh my God. Prince 1999.
Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Damo.
all right. First one I ever bought, like with my own money, was probably Black Sabbath Paranoid.
Nice.
And it was because the Road Warriors, their theme song was Iron Man. And I was like,
here you go.
I didn't know the hell who did it. And I asked my buddy, I was like, yo, man, who does like that song is pretty killer. Who does it? I was like, oh, it's this band, Black Sabbath. It's called Iron Man. So I went to the record store and I was looking up Black Sabbath and I found Iron Man.
That's awesome.
So that was like the first one I bought was because of that.
Awesome. Mike D.
First one I bought with my physical money, it was David Lee Roth's Skyscraper.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go. Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that record.
And I didn't know much about it at the time, but I used to see it in like the magazines, and I didn't know what the hell to buy. I was just getting into rock music at the time, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm just going to buy this one.
Nice.
Good
And
album.
then the next one was Metallica and Justice for All.
It's another great one.
So big difference.
Yeah, right.
For me, the first cassette tape that I ever bought was Van Halen Diver Down. That was the first one. That's probably why I like that record so much, because it was probably I played the shit out of it, But okay, so we got the last question. We're going to start with Meanie. Meanie, looking back at some of those commercials in the 80s, did you laugh at the Fallen and I Can't Get Up lady?
Oh, I still do. And I still use that line every time I fall. Every time I take a bump, against my will. Help! I've fallen. I can't get up.
Damo, how about you?
Of course I laughed.
Yeah.
We're all laughing right now.
Mike D, you're evil. I know you laughed.
Yes. Followed by the Where's the Beef lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
That lady was the best.
Yeah.
Clara Peller.
That lady was the best. All right, guys, we'd like to thank. Oops, sorry. What are you saying, Dave?
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I used to have a button on my jacket. Where's the beef?
It was big.
Yeah.
That was big.
Yeah.
That was really big.
What was
So
that
like
a commercial for anyway? What was it?
Wendy's.
Wendy's, right?
It was
Yeah.
Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Wendy's.
And then they had her at WrestleMania too.
Yes, they did. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. She was that big, man. She was that big.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then she died shortly after. I remember she died
Right.
yeah.
pretty quick. Like she became famous and then she was dead.
Yeah. Well, she had to be old as shit. Where's the
Oh,
beef?
she was probably in her 80s, I think.
Yeah.
She found the beef.
Yeah, she
Game over.
what was the guy's name in remember Bachelor Party? Nick the Dick.
And then some.
And then some. You remember that?
Yeah. That's foot long and then some.
All right, we'd like to thank the Blue Meanie for coming on, for playing 21 questions with us. We're Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. And don't forget to pick up Retro Mania on Xbox, PlayStation 4, Steam, and wherever else you get some video games.
Wherever you get your video games.
Cool.
Thank you so
I'll
much,
be
guys.
checking that out. Many thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.